Hello, my name is Jeff Gemiolo, and today I want to talk about synchronicities. And as a definition, we're going to use it's the consecutive coincidences that lead you to only one conclusion, that there's no coincidences. As crazy as that sounds, actually, it's if you get a lot of coincidences, ask yourself why. Because realistically, if you think about it, coincidences, you can think of it like luck. So if you think, you got a lot of coincidences going, you may want to play a lottery and see if it's your luck or your spirit team trying to tell you something. A lot of times your spirit team will try to let you know things. Think of it like this. I went over and bought a Kia. I never even really heard of Kia other than I saw a commercial every now and again. I do know that they were an automaker and they were cheaper than American cars. So when my girlfriend at the time said she wants an SUV with heated and cooled seats, and I looked at an American car and it was literally like 60,000 used. It's like, holy moly. I went and looked at Kia used, which means off lease 2 years old, not 10 years old, 2 years old. It was 24,000. It's like, okay, well, that's better than that one. So it's like, okay, well, never really paid any attention to it. My girlfriend said, oh, I don't care what color it is as long as it's not white. We get there, it's white. Her last name was White, so it kind of worked out. What's really crazy odd is when once I got the car, so I really didn't pay any attention about Kia at all. I started seeing them on the road everywhere, like that type and Kias in general. Almost like 90% of the world runs a Kia. It's like, well, that's not quite right, but it became in my notice, in my vision more. I paid more attention to it now. The lone ones that had white colored ones. Like, oh yeah, almost like I'm comparing my car to other people's cars. As I said, it's a very natural thing, but as I said, very weird. Just like if I decided today I want to go over and say, maybe I want to get me a Jaguar, and I go over and I'll start seeing more of them because that's what my spirit team will say. Hey, by the way, look over there. Technically, you can do the same thing with anything. But what synchronicity is not, and I repeat not, is when you're talking to somebody or you text one of your friends and say, "Oh, I'm having a baby, I'm pregnant," and then you basically say to someone else as a prank the same thing, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, all your ads on your phone are now for baby goods. No, that's your phone spying on you, not related. But you can also look at it a different way. It's kind of like you walking by and, you kind of get this idea just kind of randomly throws in your head like, well, that's weird. I don't think that'll work. And then you kind of walk down the street or you do something else. And then a little while later, something spanks you a little bit like, okay, well, you hear something else, or you see a magazine on a magazine cover, and it's basically saying, hey, yeah, do this, and everything is pointing toward doing what you want, what you thought of. And then you're like, that's crazy. Okay, and it's like coincidence, everyone has coincidences, right? Then you keep going, and then you find out 2 or 3 more things happen, and then you find out, you overhear someone else's conversation next to you. They're talking about, I wish someone would do this, And you keep hearing this, and it's like, then you finally, then the switch gets clicked in your head. There's no such thing as coincidences. And once you acknowledge that, you'll stop actually hearing that. You'll start getting more, but it'll be very, very much more selective about it. Now you have to use your discernment to figure out whether or not that's a synchronicity or not. The good news about it is usually it is. But synchronicities happen a lot for some people, especially creative types. Happens a lot. Generally, people who are not authentic people, or people who are not, people who are people pleasing or have other issues, they generally don't have any. They don't usually get synchronicities, but a lot of people do. You can see angel numbers and all kinds of other things. A lot of Christians don't believe in that. They go to the concordance or something and there's a number there. I go, but angel numbers are. I see people give them all the time. They're just not very religious people. They're spiritually religious, which means they believe in God. They just don't believe in, beating you over the head with a Bible sometimes. It's kind of like when you go online and you see actually tarot readers. Across their neck, they're wearing a chain that's a cross. And literally, they're saying a prayer to the Holy Spirit for guidance and for clean communications before they do their tarot thing. And then, yes, but they're not religious. I don't know, they said a prayer. That kind of thing. But really what synchronicities are is reaffirming that you should be where you are. The universe does those, your spirit team, I would say even God does it. They could also give you pieces to your puzzle. That's always a favorite too. It's like, why don't you go over there and look over there? Or something will catch your eye, like, what the heck was over there? You looked, you didn't see anything over there. But then when you look somewhere else, you kind of like look around, like, what the heck? And you notice something different, like, oh, we're back to that one idea again. You're starting to build an idea now. But your higher self, or let's just say your spirit team, is kind of saying, psst, look over there. It happens all the time. The good news is that usually you have to be pretty high vibrational for that to happen. I'm not saying that you can't do it as a low vibrational person. I'm not. I'm just saying that it's usually easier as a high vibrational person. But synchronicities happen with me all the time. So there's no such thing as coincidences. That's one thing I've learned in this world at this point. There is no such thing as coincidences. And that's after a while, when you start getting into, 5 and 6 coincidences on the same thing, it's like, there's no such thing as coincidences at this point. Because they're all related. And if they're all related, why am I getting them? Is my subconscious putting this in here? Even if your subconscious is putting them, it's a synchronicity. It can't be a coincidence. So I just want to bring it to your attention that you may want to pay attention to your synchronicities, because a lot of people don't. It's kind of like it's kind of magically like intuition. Everyone has intuition too. It's just people don't use them. And actually, what's really funny about tarot cards is unless you really irritate your spirit team will always talk to you through tarot cards about your life. So you can pick up a tarot card deck, put it underneath your pillow for 30 days, and then at that point, you start using them. So all nice and charged with your energy on them, and say, hey, spirit team, I would like to know something, and basically dial out 4 or 5 cards, and then get the book and read them. They'll tell you anything you need to know. You can always read yours. Now, if you really irritate your spirit guides or they walked away, that's a bigger sign. That's a sign that you need to change your life a bit. Mind you can't be drinking alcohol every day. You can't be doing, smoking enough marijuana to choke a horse. You got to kind of clean up a little bit to do any of that, but it's not actually all that hard. So I've actually seen people that smoke that don't have that problem. Smoking usually is not the problem. It's usually alcohol, because alcohol usually puts you in an altered state, which you pretty much don't want, because they call it spirits for a reason, because it helps spirits come into you. And you don't want those kind of spirits into you, if you catch my drift. They call that demonic possessions usually. But as I said, most people actually can read their own cards without a problem. I did it for years. And actually, I did not use tarot cards. I actually used playing cards. Just a special deck I have, playing cards, and I actually got found online. It's because cartonomy is actually the study of fortune telling using playing cards. Cartosomy? I don't remember what it is, but it begins with a C. It's C-A-R-T something, and it's the study of using playing cards determining your future. Which actually they invented playing cards so you can legally carry around tarot cards, because back in the day that was actually a witch item you couldn't carry around. In case you weren't aware, tarot cards were actually illegal in most countries, but playing cards were perfectly legal. But you can gamble with those. Hence the reason why they started divination with that and tea leaves and all kinds of other things, because it was illegal for tarot cards. But anyway, just FYI that actually anyone can go over and read their own cards. Just like anyone can talk, they should be able to talk to their own spirit team. Your spirit team likes to talk to you. You just usually are not listening. Just like if you go over and ask your spirit team a question and quickly close your eyes and then open them back up. When you closed your eyes, you just saw an image. If you wanted to know something from your spirit team, and tell them just to show me, and they will throw an image up there for you, or you'll have a dream. One of the two. But they do. They'll go over and they'll talk to you all day if you want them. The hard part is most people go, oh, I don't want to believe in any of that stuff, and they kind of walk away. It's like, well, if you don't believe, then you must believe in coincidences then. That's usually how that one works. So, anyway, I think everyone actually should kind of pay attention, because the more you pay attention to something, especially synchronicities, the more you'll get them. Because it really is, it's communication for you to say you're on the right path. So your next project, say it out loud. I wonder if I did this, what would happen? And then basically leave it like that and just go about your day and see what happens. See what your spirit team wants you to know. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? You'll find out, because they'll guide you through and tell you. So, give it a shot. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.